Fall is planting time for spring flowering bulbs. A lot of people love to plant tulips, daffodils, crocus, and lots of other bulbs into the landscape. But some people don't have room to plant bulbs. The solution is to plant bulbs in a container. You can plant your bulbs and force them this winter, or save them and actually have them bloom next spring in a pot. First, you want to select a 12 to 14 inch diameter plastic or clay pot. Make sure it's at least 8 inches deep to accommodate the largest bulbs. Then select bags of large, medium-sized, and small-sized bulbs to plant. These will be planted at different depths in the pot and may bloom at different times depending on the variety. I like to start with daffodils for the biggest bulbs, and I like to get the biggest bulbs possible. The bigger the bulb, the more flowers you're going to get from your daffodils. But before I put them in the pot, I want to put a layer of potting soil in the bottom. Just a couple inch thick layer, so that when I put the daffodils in, bottom side, the flat side is down, the pointy side is up. I want to be able to sink them about 8 inches into the pot. This is the proper depth for these daffodils. Then once they're in there, I want to just add some more potting soil on top, just enough to cover them, so that the soil level now is about 4 to 6 inches deep. Then I want to use my medium-sized bulbs, and for those I'm going to use these tulips. These tulips are great because they'll sit in here about 4 to 6 inches deep, and you can plant them pointy side up pretty close together. You could put a good 5 or 6 in a pot this size. Once those are in, I want to just put some more potting soil on top of that, cover those up a little bit better. And then I'm going to put some small bulbs. Now these could be crocuses, they could be snowdrops, they could be little alliums like these. Any small little bulb that you can plant about 2 to 4 inches deep. You just want to put a whole bunch of those in here. And these are going to be great because often these will be the earliest ones to bloom, where the tulips and daffodils will come a little bit later, so extend your flower show. Once you have enough of those in, we'll just put another layer of soil on top so that eventually you'll only be a couple inches below the rim of your container. Now your pot is all planted. Once you're all done, then you want to water your container really well to moisten that soil. And then it needs a cold dormancy period. So it's going to need temperatures about 35 to 45 degrees for 12 to 14 weeks. That means if you plant this in October, you're going to have to wait till about February to actually pull them out and force them indoors to bloom. Now this place where you're going to store them, it could be a cool basement, it could be a shed or a garage, anywhere where it stays within that temperature range, that'll be ideal for them. Now if you don't have a basement or a garage to store these, you can actually store them in the refrigerator. To use a smaller container with fewer bulbs, but cover it with plastic and place it in the back of the refrigerator for winter. After flowering in spring, let the foliage yellow and then plant them in the garden. They actually might flower for you again in coming years. For more gardening tips, go to gardeningwithcharlie.com.